Hi guys, it's Mike here. I am here with a video. I made this card for the Simon Says Champ challenge on Christmas tree, the Monday challenge, and I used 2 dice to achieve this look, and lot of partial die cutting. So this is the Evonik Creations traditional Christmas tree or pine tree, and I removed the sticky from the tape, like as you can see with my embossing buddy. And I'm using an oval die, and this one is from Nelly Snellen, but you can use any brand that you have. I just happen to have these, and I'm using my really old plate with the straight edges because that makes die cutting much easier. And that's my card panel. As you can see, if you have to tilt it, it won't fit through the machine. And I made this one and I filmed it, but I couldn't get it through the machine, so I made the panel, the window panel, 2 centimeters, almost an inch smaller than the actual card base, just so I wouldn't have any trouble fitting it through the die cutting machine. And here I'm trying out which oval would be best to use, because I still need a little bit of a rim around it, a frame, and I'm tracing the oval so I know where to die cut, and I'm sticking down the tree, and I'm starting with the die cutting of the tree, and I only want the bits that are inside the oval. So I'm placing my plate from line to line, and that's where the pencil line comes in handy, so you know how to place your paper underneath the plate. And we also always die cut in a straight line, and that's why you usually have to tilt the paper quite a lot. And I'm using 140-pound paper, so it is sorry, it's very hard to die cut, and you might need 2 or 3 passes, but as soon as you push it through, the upper plate will just jump away from where you position it, so you can't go back and forth like you usually do with your die cutting machine. So here's the tree. It's very delicate, and I didn't expect it when I bought that die, but yeah, it's really cute. So again, I'm placing the die on top of the pencil mark. That's why the pencil line is very handy. And I'm doing the same. I'm deciding I want to die cut everywhere except where the tree meets the frame. So I'm putting the plate on top of the oval except for where the tree is. And that's almost everywhere. And it cuts in one go, so I was very lucky with that. And actually, I taped down the tree there just to keep it in safe and inside and safe and flat, so it doesn't catch somewhere and breaks up. And I missed a little bit in the corner there, so I'm just using my little scissors to snip it off. I mean, that's easier. And then trying to get that little bit out. I left all the other bits in there that, well, should come out, I guess, but because it's such a dainty tree, I thought I better leave them in. And this is Schut cold pressed watercolor paper, and I'm also cutting it to the same size as the window panel. And I'm keeping those strips, and you'll see why later. Because you might remember my Galaxy video, and this is the well that I made for it, and these colors. Well, to me they look the same except for the green and the purple, or the pink actually. So yeah, I'm swatching them out on those little strips that I just cut off. But before I do that, I wet down the card base so you know it can soak in a little bit. And here it is. That's wilted violet, a blueprint sketch. That one looks black, but it's hickory smoke, and that's black soot, twisted citron, faded jeans or chipped sapphire, and it's also faded jeans or chipped sapphire. I don't remember. They look, the same kind of on here anyway. And only when you wet them down further, you think, oh yeah, it's hickory smoke. So yeah, I'll be using mostly the blues for my night sky and big brush, wetting it down again a little bit so the colors will flow. And I'm starting with the almost empty wells. And I want to make it a little bit of a gradient, so darker at the top and um, actually it's kind of like the snow is reflecting light back up, or maybe if there was a city of a village that will also happen. So some purple, I'm just messing around and didn't have really any idea where I wanted to go. I'm just playing and making a mess, after midnight. You're allowed to do that, don't you? So now this palette will get washed off. So uh, yeah, I feel like I used most of it, and that makes me feel better than wasting stuff. So I dried it off camera with my heat gun, and this is how it looks. But I want falling snow, and while I was looking for that stencil, I came across the falling stars. So no, I'm still choosing the falling snow, but you can have options. You can also leave it just the night sky, but because it's the sentiment I'm gonna use, dreaming of a white Christmas, you know, falling snow makes sense, right? So Wendy Wacking embossing paste, and it's almost empty my Wendy Vecchi. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when it is, but yeah, we'll see. I'm using the middle portion of the stencil, by the way, just because I didn't want a snowstorm, but just a tranquil medium snowfall. Does that make sense? If you use the bottom part, you will even have less snowfall, but it's just what you like. So here I'm placing my card panel, so I know how much space I have for my sentiment, and that's why I chose this long and narrow one from Casual Fridays, and it's from last year. It's called Must Love Snowflakes. But again, any sentiment that you have that fits, works. I'm not sure if they're still available. And if you don't have one that fits on the front, you can leave the front sentimentless. Is that a word? And just put one on the inside. I mean, it doesn't have to be on the outside all the time. So it wasn't really straight, and I tried to cut out these bits, like fiddling around with the sentiment, but my camera didn't agree last night, and I'm retrying this morning. I don't know why. It kept saying I can't find those files, because I also tried to cut out the bits where I was fiddling with the foam tape and the backing of the foam tape, but now you get to see it all. Huh. I'm sorry. And I sped the video up twice the speed, so you can it only took me half an hour, even with the drying of the Wendy Vecchi paste. I mean, I had the heating on; it went quickly. So not to take any chances, I'm heat setting the VersaFine Black Onyx because it's a pigment ink, and you know what happens sometimes. And I'm trying to see if it still fits. So in the meantime, that probably took 5 minutes. The paste is dry enough to work with, and I want to mount the window panel with foam tape. So I'm having to cut it up in slivers and such. And I know you know how to do this, and that's why I tried to cut it out and make the video a little bit shorter, but that's where my PC didn't agree with. So I'm leaving it in now. I'm not taking any chances again because it was saving for an hour and then it decided, no, I'm not doing it. And that was almost 3 a.m. So I just went to bed at that point and I thought I'd try it again. And this is the third time I'm doing the voiceover. I'm trying to talk louder, but you know, um, I'm sorry if it's not loud enough. Just please turn up your volume a little bit, because I can't talk louder than this actually. Not for 15 minutes. Oh yeah, I'm making sure behind the tree that's so delicate. There's bits of foam tape to support it, and places where it will take some small bits, and I'm trying to see if there doesn't anything peeking out. I don't have the clear foam tape, but that might be a good idea. So yeah, peeling off all the backing so I can attach the watercolor panel. And because they're the same size, that shouldn't be a problem. But I had a bit of watercolor panel peeking out, so I trimmed that off with my scissors. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm making you sit through this. And hopefully I will get a new PC next year, and then I hope this will be a thing of the past. But yeah, this is the panel, and that's where I noticed there's a little, well, just a little sliver hanging out, so I'm cutting it off. And it's no big deal. I mean, you can not see it anymore. And I think that blue with the white, it looks so striking. It's one of my favorite combinations for Christmas. Night skies and white stuff. So foam tape again, just because the water panel is a bit bowed, and I'm placing it on top. It's off center, but that's visually more pleasing actually. And well, that's pretty much the card finished. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week. So, bye.